Welcome to our channel, The Doctor's Diary. We are presenting before you the Medicaholic series, where we get to you different information and latest updates about the medical articles. So, the preceding slides, the following slides, will have some pictures which might be disturbing to the viewers, and they are requested to have precise discernment over the same. So, as these images are being played, it might have given you a clue about the incident which has taken place recently. So, these are the images of the actual incident which took place on 7th of May at 2:30 a.m. And this was nothing else but the LG polymer gas leak. And this was a really heartbreaking incident in addition to the pandemic which we all are facing right now. And because of this, nearly 5,000 residents had to be evacuated from the place. I need not to mention about everything because I know all of you would have been well informed from the news about the latest updates regarding that incident. So, as a doctor, I am here to highlight few aspects of it with in relation to medical science. Now, we will study about the base, about the root of where it all started. It all started with styrene, which is a viscous liquid compound which vaporized and in high temperature it forms a styrene gas. Okay, so its actual form is a liquid form. And this is rampantly used in many rubber industry, in many plastic industry. And that is how the algae polymer event took place. Now, little we'll give a limelight on the history on where it exactly originated from. So, it was discovered by this German apothecary, Edward Simon. Okay, so he isolated this styrene from the sap of oriental sweet gum tree. He called it styrol. Now, in his research, he found out that because of exposure to light, air, and certain natural elements, it causes um, it causes a reaction which makes it rubber like hard, and that compound he named as styroxide. That is also known as polystyrene. So, this is not only found or not only relevant to rubber or plastic or polystyrene, it is also found in cigarette smoke. It's also found in fruits and vegetables in automobile exhaust. But in fruits and vegetables, it is in very limited quantities, which is not affecting the human health. Okay, now how does it affect? It affects not only the respiratory system, which might be the matter of concern for many. It also infiltrates the mucous membrane. It also has an effect on the skin, and it also affects the central nervous system. Now we will be briefing about these in the slides that are yet to come. So there are two types of toxicity which are caused because of this compound. First is the acute toxicity and one is the chronic toxicity. The acute, as the term suggests, everyone might be aware of it, that acute means short term and chronic means long term. So it has a short term and a long term side effects. Okay, so what happens when one gets exposed to styrene? So, as I said, there are various manifestation, various symptoms which one might encounter. So, dermatological symptoms are one of those. First, there might be some skin irritation, there might be some rashes, like how it happens in any chemical dermatitis or any when comes in contact with to any chemical. So, it also affects the mucous membrane. in the eye also affects the mucous membrane in the nasal cavity. Okay, in the eye, it causes kind of noticeable symptoms. That is, it might lead to conjunctival irritation, reddening. It might even cause pain in the eye. It might even lead to impaired color vision, as some have stated. In the nasal mucosa, it causes basically nasal irritation because the root is mainly through nasal inhalation. Okay, so what are the CNS side effects? As we would have seen in the news channels or as the media has portrayed, that many individuals, those who have inhaled this compound, have had fainting attacks, had symptoms of breathlessness, had even symptoms of dizziness and nausea, vomiting, and many other symptoms. So these are clubbed together as styrene sickness, because many people in a short term, as like a acute effects, they might have vertigo, dizziness, tinnitus, and on the long term effects they might have ataxia, and they might even suffer depression. Okay, so what are the other systems that are affected because of this? One is the liver, and even the renal system is affected. And obviously, the consequences would be because of the long term exposure to this compound, especially in workers, those who are affiliated to these industries, especially those working in the polymer or the plastic or the rubber industry. These workers might have a leukemia, might suffer leukemia in long term exposure, or a lymphoma. These are nothing but a form of blood cancer. Okay, and in females, those who are getting exposed to this environment, they might have spontaneous abortions. Okay, now we have seen all these symptomatology and how it's affecting the humans. But how do we manage this? For management, the first thing which we would look upon to is how to do the first aid. So, when you come across a patient who has been exposed to this harmful gas, harmful liquid, so you have to first evacuate the person from that contaminated area or from the contaminant. If there is skin exposure, if the person has come in contact with the gas, if he has come in contact with the liquid, and then you must disrobe the person, and you must rub all the surfaces and blot every spot of the chemical that might be residual on skin. And all these things should be done in a very well ventilated area. And the first, as I even previously mentioned, is about the ocular exposure that we are quite worried about. So, when it comes in contact with the eye, what we basically need to do is rinse it thoroughly with normal saline, that is 0.9% saline. And those who are having contact lenses, they should immediately remove it, because the more it stays, the more it might injure the cornea. So, and other things which we need to look upon is if it has retained anywhere, if the particles are lodged anywhere in the conjunctiva, we need to remove it. And this might even cause pain to the patient because of the constant irritation. So we can instill a local anesthesia liberally, so that this will alleviate the pain symptoms. And if you find there are a severe blurring of vision, and if there is corneal damage, the patient must be referred to an ophthalmologist at the earliest. And the main thing which we will talk about is the inhalational symptoms. And the inhalational symptoms, for that, we have simple basic measures which we need to follow. One is to clear the airway and ensure that there is adequate ventilation to the person affected. And one, immediately we have to check all the vital parameters, including the oxygen saturation, including ECG. So when we will be monitoring all these basic parameters, and then if we come across that the patient is going low on his oxygen levels. High flow of oxygen can be given to these symptomatic patients. So, this is just a small intro video from Doctor's Diary, and this was just a gist about the incident which took place. And that's all, folks, for today. And we will be coming with many more videos as these and many informative videos. And you can even drop in your ideas and make a note of whatever things you would like us to change in our upcoming videos, and what topics you would like us to do. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Doctor's Diary. Have a great day.